Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Agent Psycho, and we're gonna get started on the third episode of I want to say the 39th chapter of the Exploring the Arsenal series featuring me, Agent Psycho, aka ToTheIdiotMobile. Yet you guys know the drill. And in this episode, we're gonna be covering the RPK74 machine gun. This is the NX standard variant of the original RPK that you can get for I think at Staff Sergeant 3 or Staff Sergeant 2, not Staff Sergeant 3. Anyways, so yeah, let's get started on the RPK74 review. So like I said, this is an NX standard variant of the RPK74. Thus it costs, I think, 700 NX a day, and yeah, anyone can get it because, I mean, it's NX standard, so as long as you have NX, you can get it. And let's go into the statistics of the RPK, or the RPK74 rather. Now, its damage is the most significant change that the RPK74 offers over the original RPK. At 49 damage, this poses a 4-point increase over the original RPK, and you can right away, you can definitely notice. In these games, you'll notice that I've been posting lots of games in the RPK chapter of one-man army junk fleet, and in my honest opinion, machine guns and combat arms are most suited for these kinds of game types: one-man army, close quarters battles. Because in all honesty, how would you use machine guns effectively in any other range? Unless, of course, it's got a sniper scope on it. Even then, machine guns are not meant to be used at long range. Definitely not in combat arms. So yeah, so that's why I am playing lots of games on Junk Fleet One-Man Army in which they are most effective. And for this chapter, or for this video, you'll see in that gameplay in that the RPK74 does really do a lot of work. If you've got any skill with machine guns whatsoever, you should do work in Junk Fleet One-Man Army games, and that's what I do here. I don't remember if this was a game I got Unbelievable in. I do remember I got Unbelievable in the RPK chapter, or the episode. I'm not too sure about the RPK74. I can't remember the gameplay that I had for it off the top of my head, because I'm not looking at the preview screen right now. In fact, I'm not even looking at any gameplay at all. I'm just doing this raw commentary. But anyways, the damage right away when I used the RPK74, because in the game before this that you're watching right now, I was using the RPKS mod, which, like I mentioned before in the RPKS mod review, is basically just the same thing as the RPK, just with the sniper scope slapped onto it. However, using the RPK74, I could definitely tell that the RPK74 has a huge boost in damage. I could just feel that I was knocking people down much more quickly than I could with the RPKS mod. I mean, granted, you can still kill people very fast with the RPKS mod because of its medium damage and high rate of fire, but the RPK74 still keeps that high rate of fire, but its damage has been boosted by 4. This makes the RPK74's damage on par with other machine guns such as the MG36 and the M21E. And in fact, those three machine guns, this triumvirate of machine guns, as I like to call it, they are very, very similar to each other. I've already done the review on the MG36, and if you compare the stats, they're actually all surprisingly similar to each other. It's just that MG36 poses a little bit more kind of practicality because MG36 has a sniper scope on it, like the G36 sniper scope, whereas the RPK74 doesn't have the sniper scope that the RPKS mod does. So I would kind of lean towards the MG36, but there's no reason why you couldn't do better with the RPK74 as well in terms of like close range and middle range. So there you have it. The damage is a very good factor on the RPK74. The portability has also been increased by 3 points over the original RPK, so this does make the RPK74 a little bit faster than its original GPU standard variant, but in all honesty, it's still a machine gun, and you're still going to run slowly, so it's not too much of a significant improvement, so you can kind of ignore that. Rate of fire has been basically left alone, so we can ignore that. Its accuracy has been increased by 2 points from its original 60 to up to 62. But because, like I mentioned, keep repeating, the machine guns typically don't really need its accuracy. I mean, of course it does, because I mean, how else is the gun going to determine where the bullets are going to go in terms of bullet pattern and bullet spread? But in all honesty, for as long as it has at least over 50, then you don't really need to worry about the accuracy on the machine guns too much, so we can kind of skip over that. The recoil is left alone basically at 73. So you're still gonna see the same recoil pattern on the RPK74 that you've seen all along with the RPK and the RPKS mod. Basically, in terms of recoil, I feel that the entire RPK family is very similar to each other in terms across variants. So if you use the RPK and you move on to the RPK74, you'll definitely feel very, very comfortable with this recoil. If granted, assuming that you've already mastered the recoil on the RPK, or at least know how it feels like. Basically, if you use the RPK before, then you can definitely pick up the RPK74 or the RPKS mod and just do as well or even better with it than you did with the RPK, because this recoil is untouched. Nexon did not, Nexon just basically left alone its recoil kind of mechanics, like this recoil spread, the kickback, bullet patterns, all that stuff. They just basically left it alone throughout all the RPK variants. So you can definitely, if you're used to the RPK's recoil, then you can definitely feel at home with the RPK74. All in all, you can think of it like this: if it's bad, or I shouldn't say bad, but for the RPK74, its recoil is negative in that, or you can think of its recoil as negative in that you could maybe you could use a little bit less recoil in terms of statistics. However, because on the positive side, because they didn't touch it, they just basically, because Nexon just left it alone, the RPK74 is very, very familiar and very easy for RPK users to pick up. That's where it's kind of one of its main advantages lies, because sometimes across variants, like from the GP standard to the NX standard variant, there might be a huge difference in like gameplay mechanics and how it feels and how it performs. For example, like the AG-A1 and the AG-A3, those are they're almost two different guns if they weren't categorized in the same family. So yeah, you don't need to worry about having that kind of problem with the RPK's family. So that's basically it for its statistics. That's actually basically it for its entire review. The statistics, all its mechanics, and all its performance issues, the way it feels, the way it performs, the RPK74 is basically identical to the RPK. Like I've spent like the entire past minute basically rambling on about, the RPK74 is basically the same variant of the RPK. It's like Nexon just took the RPK, gave it a reskin that you could probably not even tell anyway if you weren't paying attention, and basically just upped its stats, and that's it. That's all they did. And basically you can just think of the RPK74 as just an all-around improvement over the RPK. The main one being obviously its damage. You can definitely tell that you're killing people much faster, much more quickly than you could with the original RPK or the RPK's mod, whichever one you're using. So anyways guys, that will conclude the review on the RPK74. It is definitely a fantastic machine gun, as long as you keep it to ranges where you know you will kick some ass with it. And yeah, if you felt like the RPK just didn't have enough damage, well, here you go. The RPK74 is just right for you, where it has 4 points of increased damage over the original RPK, so you can never have another excuse, another day of saying, oh, the RPK74 just isn't strong enough. Well, with the RPK74, or the RPK rather, well, with the RPK74, you don't have to complain about that anymore, so quit your bitching and go buy it. Anyways guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later in the next review and the next episode, and the final episode for the RPK family, the RPK74M, the NX rare variant and the ultimate variant in the RPK74 family, or the RPK family, not the RPK74. Anyways guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. ゆっくりしてってね。